Chapter 34. As Obsidian returned to the cavern, the queen was getting into the underground lake. He went straight in her direction like a light beam in slow motion. 100 meters above the queen, before she could submerge into the water, Obsidian opened his jaws. Flames shot out like a torrent river of fire, descending upon the queen, who, in reflex, dove underwater for protection. When Obsidian had finished his grand expulsion of flames, the queen raised her own head slowly, watching as he swooped away to avoid the trees. Her eyes had the look of surprise but also sadness. In the moments that followed, that sadness slowly found a path to bewilderment, and from there to anger, and from there to a hateful wrath. As the anger seeped into her, the water began to turn colors of orange and red, and small bubbles were beginning to percolate near the surface. Obsidian was still a good distance away, and she needed him to come closer. She laid her head on the side of the pool, composing herself, feigning injury, if not death. She closed her eyes, feeling this was the best path for her wrath. Obsidian flew high above, watching the queen's body below, which appeared lifeless. He circled one more time. Seeing no change in her disposition, he descended to have a closer look, unsure if he had succeeded. There was something he noticed in his peripheral vision, ghost-like images of dragons circling around him. It was a distraction as he tried to keep his attention on the queen's lifeless body. He landed near the pool's edge but opposite the queen. He could see no signs of life. There was no heaving of her sides. Her nostrils were quiet and still. Her eyes closed. He was quite certain she was dead. As he came around closer, he thought he heard a cheer go out. He stopped and looked around. There was no one. He was aware that there were creatures all around, but this cheer sounded more like the familiar war cry of air dragons. The next thing Obsidian knew, his very next experience, he was frozen in time. He could not move. Not a single fraction of movement, as time stood perfectly still. He had become a statue. And yet, he could see that the queen was crawling toward him. Her small wings, used like crutches to walk, looked slightly singed and damaged. Otherwise, the queen looked well, though anger flared in her expression, and a helpless Obsidian saw that his life was soon to be over. A loud telepathic thought suddenly entered Obsidian's mind.
You dare to try and kill me? Do you think I am not a god? Look upon me. I am a god. I am unharmed. Even after you unloaded a firestorm upon me, I, the innocent one, absorbed everything you could muster, and now I have you in my grip, a grip that can either crush you or caress you. And instead of seeking my caress, you sought to be crushed, and I want to know why.
Obsidian, frozen, felt for the first time that perhaps she was actually a god. Who else but a god could do what she is doing?
I don't have an answer,
Obsidian said in his mind's voice.
I really don't. It was a sudden, inexplicable impulse. I had to do it.
Why? Why did you have to do it?
His entire body shook a tiny bit at the volume of her telepathic cries. He tried to follow her path to his side, but his eyes could not move, and she became a ghostly image in his peripheral vision. He saw movement in almost every direction. The creatures of the cavern were all converging on this spot, curious to understand what was happening in their usually quiet world.
I don't have an answer for you. Something compelled me. I don't know what or who it was. I felt possessed.
So, you are blaming some unknown force for your hateful act of trying to kill the god of this very planet. Do you know what would have happened if you had succeeded?
No.
Everything would have changed. Everything. Not a single thing on this planet would have remained on the same trajectory it was on when you flew away. In a matter of days, wars would have broken out. The wrath of the sea dragons would have killed thousands of werewolves, and a very dark cloud would have formed over this world, endangering millions of lives, all because you were inexplicably lost to the possession of an unknown entity that you blame but cannot name.
The queen paused to chuckle.
This is your story?
Obsidian could feel movement. His eyes blinked, slowly, but they blinked. He moved one of his claws. He could feel time was slowly rematerializing. The queen noticed it too and spoke aloud.
Should I kill you or have mercy upon you?
Do you believe me?
Obsidian said, his voice croaking his question.
I do, and I do not.
Then wait to make your decision.
Obsidian advised, moving his head to face the queen.
I am sorry I did what I did. There was some kind of rage in me. I told you before, I'm a flawed creature. My emotions are not under my control. Perhaps when you touched me, nose to nose, it sparked something within me that I felt was wrong. You had crossed a line that I wasn't ready to cross. I don't know.
The queen dipped one of her wings into the pool in a dainty way.
Gods are remarkable creatures. They can forgive what others cannot. They can see into situations that others cannot see. They can hold onto a vision that others would let slip away.
She continued to play with the water as if she were watching it as the only thing that mattered.
I will not believe you or disbelieve you. I will instead give my vision another chance.
She paused for the slimmest of moments.
Let me be clear. I am not giving you another chance. I am giving my vision another chance. Do you understand the difference?
Obsidian narrowed his eyes, distracted by the ripples in the water.
I think so.
If you ever try this again, I will have no choice but to kill you. There will be no discussion, trial, or in any way a sense of justice that will afford you a chance to live a continued life. You will be terminated, and as God, I will see to it personally.
She moved closer to Obsidian as he backed away.
Your flaws can be useful to me. You simply need to focus them on the werewolves. You need to ensure that these furry forest dwellers follow my dictates, and if they don't, you can be as flawed as you could ever desire. Do you understand?
Obsidian felt his head nodding, but he was unsure as to what he was agreeing to.
Good. Now go, and do not return unless it is for our announcement. I will be watching this time.
Obsidian lurched into the air instinctively. His mind was elsewhere, but after his stint of frozen time, it felt good to be flying, moving through the air again as nature had intended. As he went through the opening in the cavern's ceiling, he thought he heard whispers in the wind. Whispers that told him of a time when the sea dragons had killed off his kind. The whispers finally ended as he got over the sea. His headings were to his friends, and he flew with a very heavy heart and troubled mind. The news he carried was as unexpected as it was glorious to his friends.